Hey folks, welcome to lesson 1 on your amazing trading journey. You're going to be amazed what you can do once you master these tools. The first thing you need to do is set up your Fibonacci tool, and this is how you do it. These are the settings. These are the settings, these are the colors. Okay. Now, we've got boxes, right? We draw boxes in these zones, right? So here, for example, this one here, we call it the 886 box. This one here, we call it the TD box. What is a TD box? Trader's Dream. This one here, we call it the Momo box. What is Momo? Momo means momentum. If price is in a hurry, it's going to expand off of here. And then we've got this box here, which is the extension box. So the extension box, the 1128, is usually a stop hunting level, because you'll appreciate prices past the 1, right? So this would be a stop hunting level. You will see the 106 being hit on occasion, but basically if any time price enters into the extension box, you got to think it's a stop hunting run. 886 is the last line in the sand where price has got to defend itself. You'll understand that. Why do I say that? Because once price passes here, it's going to break its pivot, right? It's pretty simple. Pay attention to how price comes into the 886 box. If it comes into the 886 box in a hurry, very often prices are on an agenda in order to reverse in this area. So pay attention to how price comes into the 886. The TD is the most common. The Momo box, why do we call it Momo? Momo stands for momentum. If price is in a hurry, you'll only see a pullback into this box before it resumes its trend. Okay, so let's have a look at price to see what you're going to be practicing on. So here we have a situation where price has got a double bottom pretty much. No, that's a lower there. So that you want to pull your fib from this low up to this high to determine if this pulled back into a fib area. Did it pull back into a fib area? Yes, it did. What do? We draw a box. Why draw a box? Because we want to know what kind of box it is. And it fell into a Momo box. Now, I want to explain a little bit about, this is the most obvious pivot to pull from, right? But anytime you get a gap like this is a gap, right? Pay attention to the gap. So what you can do here is you can draw from the high of the gap to the low, just like that. Determine the 50% level, which is that. And you can pull your fib on that, right? So you align your fib tool exactly on the 50%, and you can pull from here. And look, what do you see? We have what we call a nesting of boxes. We've got a TD nested inside a Momo. That's a very nice confluence to have. What did price do in this area? It made a higher high. Okay. So this is all good information to know, and this is so this is all cool. So now you see price, what did price then do? Price then came up and then it made a pullback here. Now this one again, you can pull from here to here, and what do you see? Price went through the TD into the 786 level. Now there's a couple of things you can do here, right? You can pull from what I call the momentum pivot, a POI. I call this a POI. POI is a point of ignition. This swing came from here. This is where it was born from or launched from, right? So that there, to me, is a very logical place that I want to measure a fib from. And what do we see? Oh, interesting, huh? We've got, what, an 886 box. So again, you can see how if you knew this knowledge, it could assist in your trading. Also, bear in mind, you can still check the level from here. Don't forget about this one. And you can see that this here is what? Momo is a momentum box, a red box. So once again, in this situation here, we have got nested boxes. A very powerful combination, I would suggest. What did price do from this low? Made a higher high. Okay. And so it goes on, right? You can do your own work on this now. I'll show you this one more because I see we've got a gap here. So I'll do the same thing with the gap. So yeah, I'll just use this box. And you pull your fib from the center here. And you can see that from there, look where price landed. What's this? TD box. Made a higher high. You're going to also choose this pivot, right? So what have we got here? Oh, a TD box and a Momo box. Make a higher high. Is this a powerful confluence? You betcha. You betcha. It's a very powerful confluence. Okay, so go and practice that. Practice it up, practice it down. And like I said, notice when price extends past it and comes into an extension. An extension. Looks like we had one up here. This looks like a, yep. So here we've got a swing from here to here. And pay attention, look, went through the 128. What's that? Stop hunting. Stop hunting. It is. They're gunning for the stops. They took them and then it made a higher high. Okay. And have an internal dialogue going on. Talk to yourself when you do this, you know. Just so as you get really familiar with it. So go and have a play. Play on a lot of markets. Play up the way, down the way. Remember this about gaps, 50% of a gap. Okay. Or what's left of a gap. See here? Nothing's left of a gap. So you're not going to use 50% of that because the gap's already filled, right? This one, yes, you can. You can use that one for sure. Okay, last one, just because I saw a gap. But you need to discover this yourself to see how potent it is. Powerful it is, really. So you can see from here to here. Where did price pull back to? The Momo box. The Momo box. And what did it do from here? Went higher. A bit sloppy, right? A little bit sloppy. It is a 5-minute chart, but nevertheless it is sloppy. The bodies came through into the 50% area, but it was reclaimed. Now, one thing I'm going to just point out to you here, pay attention to these little pullbacks. When price comes out, it'll often pull back into a TD zone. Really. TD zone. This one didn't, right? This one didn't. But sometimes it'll do it on a second try. Sometimes it'll do it on a second try. And, well, anyway, just it's all about fibs at the moment for you, right? It's all about fibs. But you'll notice this. Let's see if I can just find one because it's so common. That looks like it's a Momo pullback here. Yeah, Momo pullback. But often when price turns, it'll do a little TD pullback. We call it a TD pullback. There's one. There's one. Look. Into the TD box before it took off. This one didn't. You can see it didn't. But it looks like the bodies might have. Let's have a look. Yep, bodies did. Okay. Very, very useful thing to know. This one here looks like, oops. Didn't come into the thing, but very often it does. Like I said. This one came up, came down, wicked through it, but you can see the body was there, right? Okay, so go and have a play. Have a lot of playing, This is going to become your best friend, this tool. All right. Catch you in lesson 2. Lesson 2, I'll be discussing red lines and sequentials.